Yo, what's up, y'all? Charlotte here. We are finally here, and it's finally made it. Azraël, the most overpowered Ubunga playstyle of a strength build, is finally here in Elden Ring itself. And I'm here to showcase you first different from boss battles, both mechanics that have an overall tendency for those who are new to the channel or doesn't know who Azraël is. Before we dissect this build completely and showcase you how this build is constructed and where you can find a different form of armor set as well. I'll say sit back, relax and enjoy and of this beautiful intro of Azraël shredding everyone.
People like us are different. That's why I'm standing on the pillars. Where heroes turn into villains and them optimists turn to realists. That's when people turn into gorillas and killers turn into winners. See, they ain't concerned with your feelings, cause they know that anything goes. Yo, anything goes. On top of the food chain, I don't know where you rank. My enemies necessary's how we do things. And this is a new reign. Making our claims, yeah, we got stakes in it. Yeah, the grass greener, but there's snakes in them. We all got secrets that we'll take with us. We all want freedom, so we chasing it, yeah. Yeah, I'm on the top of the world. There's nothing you can do about it. Looking at what I become, I never became a coward. Nothing can stop me. You couldn't quench the fountain. Nothing could get in my way. I had to move the mountains. I'm on the top of the world. Top of the world. I'm on the top of the world. Top of the world. I'm on the top of the world. Top of the world. I'm on top of the world. Top of the world. You better buckle up. Yeah. On a whole nother dimension. Yeah. Top of the world.
Yo, what's up, y'all? Charlotte here. Welcome back to the channel. We are back with another let's play and build showcase of Elden Ring itself. And in this build showcase we are doing something a little bit differently, and we are bringing my favorite playstyle, my favorite build playstyle, Azraël itself. What is Azraël? Azraël is my take of the Unga Bunga playstyles of the strength build playstyle, and we have in the community itself. For those who don't know this type of playstyles, this playstyle is really based on doing heavy damage and really devastating your enemy extremely fast. There is a playstyle you are very slow because your weapons are so heavy, but the way I constructed this build actually is that you're doing so much damage actually that the fights really don't last that very long. Like you saw in the videos itself, I'm doing a shit ton of damage to the highest tier bosses you have in the game itself. Very easy. So what is Azraël itself? Azraël is a playstyle and a lore playstyle that I constructed myself way back in the days, and the Demon Souls all the way to Dark Souls and now Elden Ring and even Bloodborne. I always bring Azraël back in any form of format you can have in the game itself. And every game of Soulsborne game you have a certain form of a strength build. Azraël is always resurrect himself, always comes back. So who is Azraël? Azraël is an Archangel that's been sent by the Elden One to every single Soulsborne game to bring the order back to that universe. And in the lands between, we are resurrected as the Tarnished One. And our goal is, of course, as Azraël, as an Archangel, is to bring the order back and eventually become the Elden Lord to establish peace in the lands between again. That is our goals and a mindset as a character itself are constructed moving forward. Like I said, every Azrael is always differently every game that we play, because every game is always differently every single time we approach it, but the concept always stays the same and the lore behind it stays the same. So what we are going to see, the status, the equipments, the flask I use in form of inventory, the magic I use in form of buffing my weapons, and of course I'm gonna showcase you in the end where you can find every single thing, or I'll let you know where you can find every form of equipment or gear set or talisman that I use right now. So let's start with the stats first, because that's one you're probably curious right now. What I'm rocking right now, I'm rocking 151 soul level, or better say rune level. And for my rune equip that I'm having equipped right now, I'm rocking more than 2 million runes right now. Are you wondering yourself, you're really confident about yourself to rocking so many runes? I was like, yeah, to be honest with you, I've been rocking this playstyle very easy. Actually, I've been destroying the bosses quite easily in New Game Plus, and this build is really gonna bring you New Game Plus all the way as far as you want to, and there's a form of diversity as well at the same time. So I'm really not worried about my runes, but Soulsborne game is still a Soulsborne game. You still need to be careful. Before we proceed, I do have to mention towards it, even though I'd say a matter of speaking, I'm confident in my own skill as a player itself, you still need to be careful in the Soulsborne game, because the bosses will one-shot you if you do a mistake. So in any means, this build is not intended to make you immortal, but it's going to make you very strong, and you're going to feel like you're quite immortal because you're doing so much damage towards your target itself. So when we have a form of attribute points, we're using 60 points into figure and make sure that we are not getting one-shotted that easily. I use 9 points into mind. Now you're wondering how the hell you can use your Ashes of War, your faith abilities, and your ashes that you're using in form of summoning. With only 9 mind, that's literally the base that I actually still have. I never leveled it up. That is way far below where I can never use any form of summoning, but I have a trick on my sleeves why I am able to use the summoning. So that will come maybe later on. You will understand how the hell I constructed this. How I'm actually using what I'm using. You saw in the video playthrough of the different bosses. I'm using 40 points into endurance to make sure I can use a form of heavy weapons. At the same time, I can use. I have a lot of stamina, so I can use different form of combos. So I can be a little bit versatile. I can dodge and etc. and etc. I'm using 66 points into strength. Why I stopped in 68 points into strength? You have to calculate if you are. My very first playthrough, I was dual wielding my very first bone giant crusher itself, my weapon that I'm using. So if you are dual wielding that weapon at your very first playthrough, in your very first playstyle, you have to calculate yourself. You have a 1.5 multiplier in form of strength multiplier. So if you're dual wielding a weapon, you have to calculate 1.5 multiplier. So that means 66 points. If you multiply it by 1.5, that's equal to 99 strength you actually have. That's how let's say the math mechanic of strength and the Soulsborne game actually works. So because I'm a New Game Plus, I already acquired the second weapon out of it. So I consider it actually, because I have dual wielding 2 of the same weapon, is also equal to 1.5 multiplier. So it also brings this in form of 99 strength if I'm dual wielding it single-handedly, if that makes any sense. So if you have a single weapon, single-handedly count the 1.5 multiplier of the weapon that you're using, 68 points is equal to 99 points then. Dexterity as 12, that make so I can wield certain form of weapons. Intelligence as 7, that is the base stats. Faith 25 and Arcane 11. So a form of equipment. Let's start with equipment first. I'm using the Heavy Giant Crusher. Dual wielding them with the Gravelstone Seals. All these 3 weapons here scales himself perfectly, and the attribute points I put my points into was to. The Gravelstone having a fantastic scaling and fate itself that really boost my incantation when I'm, at least the incantation that I use to buff my weapons even higher. For me personally, it is the best stone seal of magic of faith magic incantation seal that you can have in the game, because the form of the scaling it have as a solid S scaling. So it doesn't matter if you're going for pure faith or just something that you want to boost your faith ability. This baby can do it, and it can really boost the scaling even higher with the S scaling it has. The nice thing about this as well, if you really want to work, for example, with dragon abilities, and by applying it and by using it, it boosts your dragon cult incantation even higher, thanks to the Grave Soul Seed. So you a little bit have both of the a little bit everything of the let's say the best of the both worlds. That's what I'm trying to find. I'm trying to find. So if you want to change your character a little bit later on after New Game 7, and want to change your playstyle, with this gravel stone you can do it quite easily actually. And of course the having giant crusher, the first one you will find mid game, and to the game itself you're gonna find it very easy. I'm gonna showcase you where you can find it. But of course you have a friend that can drop you another one. You can actually get it, both of them, very early on in your very first playthrough. Otherwise you have to do like I did, going to New Game Plus and trying to farm it again and level up again to reach the stats you have right now. In form of let's say the talisman first, I'm using the rotten wing sword. Every single time I do a successful attack, what that means by that is every single time I do this and I'm talking against an enemy, that's all of this are successful attacks. So this is gonna make sure that my attack power is increased even again. Now my attack power right now as base stat is 895. So every single time I'm using a successful attack, it's increased another 20% above it. Of course you need to be careful because we are quite slow, so you need to be very careful when and where you do a successful attack to make sure that you are buffing this weapon of this talisman perfectly. So you really take the best out of this talisman. So you really need to be careful when you're using it, to time your attacks carefully. That's the thing you need to learn from the strength builds. What I'm using as well as using the claw talisman, it enhances my jump attack. What it means by that, if you sing it to this, the claw talisman, make sure my jump attack is increased in form of power ability. I'm using the ritual sword talisman because I'm if my FP is as maximum, increase my attack power even higher. This I find a form of a flex bar. I do like the changes for different form of talisman. For example, the poison rod vicinity increases attack power. Every single time I find an enemy that does a lot of poison or rod ability, I have this talisman equipped because it increases my talisman, increase my attack power even higher. I do like the changes as well. If I found them have a little bit, I need a little damage negation, and use the Dragon Crest shield talisman by level 2. Vastly boosts your physical damage negation, so you don't get one-shotted by magic abilities, for example in PvP or for example this kind of stuff. And then of course Shard of Alexander. I love this weapon as well. It greatly boosts your attack power and of your skill lines. What it means actually, so if you're having, for example, your Ashes of War equipped and you are doing a jump attack, I have all your buff activated, this will increase the attack power of the Ashes of War even higher. The Ashes of War that I'm using right now is called himself the World Knight Resolve. So what it's actually going to do, my next attack that I'm doing is again increasing my attack power. So you can see I have a theme around here. So every single thing that I do in form of damage output, every attack that I do, I make sure my attack power is increased. Every single time I do a successful attack, my Insignia Rod Talisman increases my attack power. If I'm doing a jump attack, it increases my attack power. If I use my Ashes of War, again increases my attack power. And of course, because I'm using a different form of skill, and once again my attack power is increased. So all of that successively buffs each other and works perfectly in a cumulative factor with each other. That's why I constructed this build. Now the damage output I'm having is so high, thanks to these weapons that I'm actually using. A form of gear set that I use. The gear set that I use, I chose it from the damage negation you actually have. For my arms and legs, I use the Vardana Greaves. You get this after you defeat Vardana by following the storyline. You go to the 2 fingers and you can actually purchase this armor set completely. This is literally the best armor set you can have in form of a damage negation. But it's really heavy, so you need to be very careful about it. If you don't want to wield something so heavy, maybe change to something else. But I found it quite nice, quite useful, and come off the look as well of this armor. The Fallen Omen Cloak, yeah, you can get this but once you defeated Morkert, the Fallen Omen, a little bit later on mid-game itself, and the Elden City itself. He will waiting for you on the stairs. If you defeat him, of course you will get his remembrance, and of course you get the opportunity to buy his armor set as well, and once the Fallen Omen Cloak. The Black Wolf Mask, you find it at Rani questline. Very easy actually. I'm gonna showcase you that in a different separate section of this video showcase, so you can know exactly where you can find the Black Wolf Mask itself. I'm not using this mask in form of buffing my weapons or anything. It's just the aestheticness is quite cool. Of course I'm the Black Wolf, so that's why I'm using this mask. If you truly want to increase your stats even higher, what you actually need the Omen Smirk Mask. What it does, increase your strength another 10%, as you can see, and my strength scaling is increased now to 68 and placed to 66. So if you want to increase your strength a little bit higher, this is the Omen Smirk Mask you need to go forwards to. But me personally, because my attack power is so high, I really don't care much about it. I like to keep it on my style, because if you look at the style of my boy here, it looks absolutely insane. Look at this. It looks cool, man. It really looks like a demigod. At least I like it. I absolutely love it. It really looks mysterious as a demigod itself. Something that's angelic, you could say, but in a very dark way. The other things that I use the Black Knight Teach. There's a summoning spirit. You can find it actually if you're following the Rani's quest line, where you can find it right here, completely at the ringleader Evergold. So if you follow the Rani's quest line, you're gonna come yourself on the top area of the village of Albuquerque, and you will be able to see a dragon will pop very closely by there, and this rune checkpoint, whatever you may call it, and you go northwards of the top. I'm saying the top, not on a village of Albuquerque. It's like a top side of it. You just go north of it. You will see the cathedral, of course, and its ruins. You follow north, and you will find the ringleader Evergold, and you can fight the boss. When you defeat the boss, you will be able to get this summoning quite easily. With this summoning, what I like to use it, because this summoning, he has a black knife rune. Every single time he throws his knife ability towards the target of the boss itself, he siphons the health of the boss itself. So the higher the health of the boss is, the stronger the tick becomes. So it's really, I've kind of quite a potent form of talisman, a form of a summon. And it comes to boss itself, because the boss itself have so much health. So that means every single time he does his special ability, the tick that he does towards that boss is even higher every single time. I'll be coming with a video that will showcase you which one are the strongest summoning you can have in different form of circumstances and details, of course. I would say, yeah, I do recommend you to subscribe yourself to the channel, so you don't miss out on a video as well, because I will be going in details and all the summonings, actually which one are the best ones and which one the goals of every single one of them, because they're so versatile of them, and the purpose of them are all different. They are all unique in every single one of them. There's no bad one of them, to be honest with you, but every single one of them are unique and differently, and how you use them is quite important. So I'll be coming in a different video, and so can I showcase you and explain to you how you be able to use it in form of summoning. But what I'm using this summoning is form of distraction, and it's a quite nice one, because he attacks very fast, and it's very deadly as well. So I like to use this summoning, and that's for 99% of the time, just to distract the bosses very easily, so I can do my thing much easier, buff myself, and eventually execute the boss as well. What I'm using as well, in form of a flask wandering physics, I'm using the wing crystal tier and the hidden tiers as hidden tier wandering physics. What these both of them do, the wing crystal tier, it temporarily reduces your equipment load. That makes sure that I can wield all of this equipment very easy without even worrying about fat rolling. Thanks to the wing crystal tier. Another thing I use the hidden tier as well. Eliminate all the FP consumption. So that means actually why I'm able to summon this Ashes of War, knowing I always have 9 points into mind, and I'll be able to summon this Ashes of War, if you saw in the video trailers and of bosses, quite easily. Actually, it was thanks to the hidden tier. So the moment I pop this, the FP cost for this Ashes of War, of my Ashes of War, my summoning, and every form of incantation that I have, for the brief second the list is still proccing himself, doesn't count. So what this actually looks like. So for example, if I want to use let's buff myself first though. As you can see, if I use my flame grant normally, as you can see, it will cost me FP normally. Nothing special about that one. So the moment if right now I'm fat rolling, as you can see. If I'm using my flask of wandering physics, first thing's going to happen, I'm not fat rolling anymore. That also means I can use every single thing that I have. As you can see, it's not costing me any form of FP cost. As you can see, nothing is been taken off. Absolutely nothing. And thanks to that, I can buff myself. I'm completely mobile. I can do whatever I want. As you can see now, in form of equipment load, I'm light loaded. Thanks to the flask of wandering physics, I have like 409 equipment load. What I actually have on me is 86. So I'm completely light loaded right now. I'm very, very light. I'm light as a feather right now. I'm wielding so much equipment. I'm super light, so I can dodge, do whatever I want, and without worrying about any single thing out there. So I can wear my favorite armor like I want without worrying about any single thing. So that's why I'm using this combination of wandering physics, so I can be versatile in my playstyle. And hopefully that's the right English word I'm using right now. Yeah, that's almost it. And of course, I almost forgot about my abilities that I use. Now, the first ability, as you saw, is the increasing the golden vow. What it does when the moment I apply it, increases my attack power in the vicinity itself. And the second one I use is the flame grant buff I use. It raises my physical resistance and I increase my attack power as well. Right now, my attack power is 895. So if I using, for example, let us buff ourselves right now. Now, of course, my wandering physics is actually, of course, all gone. So my first golden vow is going to bring me to 1030. If I use now the flame grants, it brings me to 1263. Now, if I'm using my abilities, my Ashes of War, the moment I use an attack power, my attack power is increased by that skill line. Every single time I do a successful attack, once again my attack power is increased thanks to this ring talisman, and of course my attack power is increased because I'm using a skill ability thanks to the Shard of Alexander. My attack power is again increased because I'm having full HP thanks to this talisman as again. Because I'm jumping in my first attack, and once again my attack power is increased. You can see there's a form of thematic and as a theme around it, how I'm actually increasing my attack power. So every single attack that I do if any form, my attack power is increased, not only for the buff that I'm getting from my incantations, but for the talisman I actually get. That's why I'm reaching that level of form of damage output moving forward into the game. Now it comes to the talismans. Where do we actually get them? So let us see where I found these talismans moving forward into the game. The very first talisman we're gonna check is the Rotten Ring Sword Insignia, and this talisman you can only get it by finishing the Millicent questline of Millicent itself. And the Millicent questline starts himself on the Khalid, specifically to this guy, Sage Kurori. This is the beginning of your questline to do the Millicent questline eventually. But I have a specific video coming up also already in the channel itself, depending when you are seeing this video itself, where it actually explains how you can do the Millicent questline from start to finish. Well, once you do, you're gonna find the Rotten Insignia right here, and this in the end of the storyline, where you need to go. And there we're gonna find the Rotten Source Insignia, where I'm showcasing you right now. For the second talisman, we are going for the Claw Talisman. The Claw Talisman, if we need to get that, I need to go towards the Stormveil Castle, to be precisely in the Rampant Tower. That's the shortest actually you can actually go there. Where you need to go is a little bit tricky, but you need to go on top of that tower there. So we need to go, we need to be a little bit of hopefully we are successful. Let's do a little. And then go up. About, and then you're gonna go up here, and you're gonna watch out for the ambush. And then you go all the way up. And on top here, that's where you're gonna find the Claw Talisman. So for the third talisman is the Visual Sword Talisman. The Visual Sword Talisman, where you're gonna find it? You're gonna find it actually on the Altius Plateau, where I'm right now. And you're gonna take the left when you arrive for the very first time from the Grand Lift, and you're gonna find this rune here, the Luxus rune. It's very easy to spot. Watch out, there are quite a lot of them here. I take the very first left here, and you enter right here. By opening this door, I'm gonna fast the Sword Talisman. And where are we exactly on the map? Of course, we are right here, the Grand Lift. We took a left, and straight here in the ruin itself. So for the last talisman, unfortunately I don't have a recall of it. Where you actually need to go, towards to let me see. It will bring you towards to the Dragon Temple itself. You need to find the Alexander, the pots we find very early on into the game itself, following his quest, and eventually will bring you towards the Dragon Temple itself. And there you're gonna find him. You need to fight him, and he will gonna drop you the shard of Alexander. And once again, I have a specific video in the channel itself, and that is all coming into the channel, or is already there in the channel, depends when you are seeing this video for the first time. Then you can see and explain to you how you can do the Alexander questline quite easy as well into the game. For the Having Giant Crusher, where you need to go, we are again in the Altruis Plateau. If you are entering the Altruis Plateau again, you go and lift, you follow the road. You follow the bridge towards the main gate towards the city, and you find the very first bonfire here, as you can see over there. And the only thing you need to do, actually, you need to venture yourself a little bit more southwards. And to be precise, you're gonna find it. Of course, I already took it, but you're gonna find it in this caravan right there. Right there. In the back, but be careful, there's an enemy, a boss gonna spawn there, so you can do a hit and run, take it and leave. But in that caravan over there, and that camp, is where you're gonna find the giant bone crusher weapon. Very easy. So for the Black Knight summoning, you need to go follow the Rani quest line. So eventually in the Rani quest line, you're gonna find yourself on top of the village of Albuquerque. You're gonna find, close to the cathedral church, you're gonna find the dragon you had to face. After you deal that dragon, you go northwards, and you're gonna find yourself the ringleader Evergoal. There's a prison you need to fight. You're gonna fight the boss over there. Once you do, you can get yourself the Ashen summoning, and you can get yourself the summoning of the Black Knights summoning this little beautiful baby. For the flask of wandering physics, the flask that I use, where able to get them, you need to go to the Volcano Manor. Once you leave the Volcano Manor, you follow your path out, you keep going down, you're gonna go to the Minor Earth Tree. You can literally gonna miss it, it's only one path going down, and there you're gonna find yourself a snake guarding the burnt Earth Tree. If you defeat him, and that's you're actually gonna find the Flask of Wandering Physics, which one I'm using right now. Like they say in French, voila, nous sommes là. And eventually we're coming to our end of our stream, and a let's play walkthrough of this build showcase of Azraël itself. And hopefully guys you did enjoy yourself, and if you did, definitely don't forget to press the like key, comment down below, and subscribe yourself to the channel so you don't miss out on anything that is Elden Ring content related, or any games in general related, because we are also a form of variety, form of gamer itself. So I'm your host, the Ashen Lord itself, so thank you very much for chilling with me also far all the way to the end, and hopefully you can enjoy yourself playing with Azraël moving forwards into a new game plus, and all the way beyond that as well. And I have to say, in PvP this build is also very viable, even though I'm not a PvP player. If you are very good at it, you can do some solid damage in PvP as well. Anyway, so thank you very much for being here once again. If you have any questions, like I said before, you can always hit me on Discord, and all those links is linked on the comments down below as well. You can find all of my social media pages, and Instagram, Twitter, Discord, and just name it. Yeah, come by and say hi, I would say. For the rest, don't forget to press a like, because it does help me in my algorithm as a young content creator. It really helps me moving forward to the game. I know you guys heard that like a million times before. Yeah, it's something I always have to mention. I have to resell every single time, because it really does help me. Your comments, your feedback, your likes really helps me reach other echelons, other gamers, and etc, etc, and etc, all this beautiful stuff. Anyway, see you next time guys. Ashen Lord out. One love always. Peace out. Till the next build. Peace.